Hello and welcome to the Reliable J podcast for our first video episode. I'm Josh.
And I'm Tessa.
And today we have a couple topics which we briefly discussed, but have not gone in depth with really. My nose itches, please forgive me. And so, couple things, important dates in Relient K history, because today is February 12th when we are recording this. Happy late Valentine's Day. This won't be out till next week. But the Truly Madly Deeply EP came out a year ago today.
Yay!
She still likes a cover of one of the songs better, which I think is low-grade blasphemy, but we can talk about that later. And 2 years ago, in 2 days, Look On Up came out. Great song. She loves that song. Which segues me into our first topic of the day. Relient K tattoos. I have a controversial opinion. And I'm not attacking anyone because I know a few people who have this tattoo. But I think just the Forget and Not Slow Down in the text from the album. I wanted this at one point, so I'm not judging. I think it's kind of basic and overdone. I see a lot of people that have it on Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, Facebook,
Tumblr, the internet.
Who uses Tumblr anymore? Vine.
I don't really think it's basic. I like it, but I do see a lot of people that have it. That's not anything necessarily bad. It's just a lot of people do have that one. And I really like creative tattoos. I personally am terrified of getting tattoos. I have a few ideas of something I would want, but I don't think I'll ever go through with them unless I just get a random burst of courage. But the ones that I've seen, like specifically Relient K tattoos, not just in general, but the ones that I love the most are ones that are really creative. And so the Forget Not Slow Down in the text, or like in the font that is on the album, is not really creative. So I would never get that. But again, that's not anything negative. I wouldn't get any tattoos.
Is mine creative?
It's not necessarily creative, but I think it's unique. Not anyone.
No one else in the world has it. I know that.
Okay.
So this is mine, if you want to see it. It's Matt Thiessen's handwriting. The third, one of the times that we met up with him, I had him write it out on an envelope for me. Also, we gave him a giant Snickers, and he held it over to Dave Douglas and said, "Look at the girth!" And it was kind of funny. That's just a little side story. Yeah, I'm not attacking anyone. I just think
sorry. Continue, sorry.
I just think it's basic.
The reason that, because you said something about look on up, and that takes us to Relient K tattoos. The whole reason that is a connector is because
Good word.
One of the three tattoo ideas that I have, which again, I probably will never get because I'm kind of terrified, but it is the words look on up, and then the O in the word on for look on up. The O would be like a crescent moon, because obviously if you know the song, refers to the moon, and so I've thought about getting that as a tattoo, but I'm way too scared, so I'll probably just get it on a mug or a t-shirt or a phone case.
My tattoo, in my opinion, didn't hurt. It just kind of felt like this over and over again, but not as annoying. More like, imagine, you know those back massagers that like vibrate?
Yeah.
Imagine that. That's warm is basically what it felt like.
That sounds good, not painful.
It wasn't painful. It was very meditative.
I don't think so. But because of that, it like blows my mind that people have like so many tattoos. First of all, because they're expensive. But
Not
if
cheap.
it's worth it to you, then it doesn't matter how you spend your money. If it's worth it to you, then it's fine. But I personally can't see spending that much money over and over and over again because I'm terrified. And if it hurts. Oh my gosh.
Pause.
What?
You're saying people can spend their money on whatever as long as it makes them feel good?
Yeah.
Let's go get some drugs! Not really, I don't do drugs.
I meant, it doesn't, never mind. I meant...
You just snorted.
I spent a lot of money on...
Don't even say makeup, because I spend a lot of money on makeup.
No, I spent a lot of money on Relient K t-shirts.
That's true. And...
other Relient K merchandise.
Hand me it!
Like this mug that I use to store things in. I sometimes drink coffee out of it, but...
Do you wash it out first?
Yeah, I would have to. But anyway, so I spend a lot of money on Relient K merchandise. If you want to spend your money on tattoos, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying I wouldn't because I'm terrified of tattoos. Have I made that point very clear? I'm scared. Stop, please.
That's what it feels like. Except better than that. Want to tell them about that cover that you blasphemously
Oh,
like
yeah,
more?
that was also something we were talking about earlier. So, like he had mentioned, the Madly Deeply... I said that wrong.
Wow! You're just going for the hat trick of fake fans. 3 episodes in a row.
The Valentine's Day EP.
What's it called?
Madly, Truly, Deeply. Truly,
Nope.
Madly, Deeply
Yep.
EP. Truly, Madly, Deeply EP by Relient K. The standout song, in my opinion, is Candy Hearts because it kind of just sounds different from the rest and sounds very much like a throwback of theirs. But anyway, so whenever it first came out, like literally a couple days after it had come out, I stumbled across I think I just typed in like Candy Hearts Relient K on YouTube, hoping to find
The real
like
song?
I think I was trying to find a lyric video because I was confused about some of the lyrics. And whenever I did that, I found a cover of it. And the guy that posted it, his name is Jay Filson. And
Kind of a funny name.
says Joshua McTarnigan. But anyway, so this guy Jay, this guy Jay had posted a cover of Candy Hearts, and it didn't sound anything like the original. He definitely took his own twist on it, which is so surprising because the song had only been out for like a couple days, yet he had come up with this brand new melody for it. And not to be rude, but since it had only been out for a few days, he didn't know the words very well, and he messed up the words a lot. But when he had this song on YouTube, the video of him playing it, I had saved it and then added it to my music files. And then just like a couple weeks ago, I went to go actually find the video again, and I found out that he had since deleted it and had deleted a lot of stuff on his channel. And so I tweeted at him and said that for the 1-year anniversary of that song coming out, that he should re-record it in the same like style that he did, but with the right words. And he didn't reply. So I don't know. Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe he didn't care. Maybe he thought I was rude.
He was offended.
Yeah.
Imagine if you worked your butt off for 2 days on a cover and put in the description. I'm pretty sure most of the words are right because that was in the description of the video.
He said they aren't right?
They are right. Speaking of description, we will link the song down below so you can listen to it if we can get it off for Spotify or find it somewhere else.
Yeah, it's not on Spotify. I downloaded his YouTube video and was able to add it to my personal music library on Spotify. So you can't just look it up and find it. It's on my personal one. But yeah.
Yeah, I'd be pretty offended if...
But it's so good. I love it so much. And not to say I don't like the original because it's also obviously good. But I love that cover so much. And I never would ever say that I like a Relient K cover more than a Relient K song if I didn't mean it. And that's crazy that I like that one so much. So, Jay, I'm hoping you find this. I will tweet this at you. Please make that cover again in the same style, but the right words, because it's so good and I love it so much. I literally cry when I hear it.
She's not kidding. She's been driving and crying.
It's just so good.
It's not safe. So moving right along, who's Relient K's producer?
Mark Lee Townsend.
For every album except?
Collapsible Lung.
And?
5 score except for one song.
Which was?
Deathbed.
Good job, except I told you that earlier, so. You remembered.
I knew that all on my own.
So he released a...
Unless it's wrong, then he told me.
He released a solo album, including this song. Sounds weird, but then you get the glorious
sound
voice. Like, Hillbilly, Kentucky. This is her first time hearing this, and I barely listened.
Genuine first impression. Wait. Digging it. I like this.
I tried to tell her about this album, and she's like, I don't care.
I didn't say that. I just didn't want to listen to it at that moment. Then I kind of forgot. So does he ever sing?
I don't know. I haven't heard the whole song. That's him. That reminds me of like a...
It reminds me of a...
Like Chris Tomlin, Lincoln Brewster kind of.
No. It reminds me of... Pause it.
Paul Baloche, something like that.
What?
Like some very...
No, it reminds me of that one song, Letters from War.
Who does that song?
I don't know, but that's what it reminds me of.
You're right. And he was good. He was great. Mark Schultz.
Mark Schultz, he does other songs.
That was on a Wow Hits CD.
I think it was 2004.
Wow Hits 2004. Which side? There was 2 sides to every.
Oh, wait. The Wow Hits 2004 I was thinking of was purple, so maybe that was...
Oh, that's 2006.
Oh.
Which has...
Nope.
No, this
2005.
No.
2005.
No, because it was purple and brown.
No, I'm thinking of purple and silver.
Oh, I have it in my car. This one, anyway. Does anyone else remember Wow Hits?
Oh, yeah, it was this one, 2005.
Wow Hits 2000.
Wow Hits were my childhood.
Same. Mark Schultz.
Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But I listened to the 2005.
Mute Math was on here?
Yeah.
Like the Mute Math that
Yes.
just toured...
I always thought Mute Math was a Christian band.
Well, obviously they were.
I mean, then like someone said they liked Mute Math that clearly was like...
Not a Christian?
No, like more than just not a Christian, like made fun of Christian music.
Like Paul?
And so I was so confused. And then I found out later that Mute Math had kind of gone like mainstream. But anyway, I listened to Wow Hits so much when I was a kid. I had several CDs, and then...
It says it was on 2005.
I told you.
I'm so confused. The reason I'm looking so intensely is because I want to see if there's a Relient K song on that year.
No, there was not.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. I listened to this one so much.
I had this one.
Yes. Oh, this is a good song.
I had this one on my portable CD player. This was my first CD for my portable CD player.
I've heard this song live. I
have 2 actually.
And it brought me back, and I'm pretty sure I cried.
It was. I heard it live.
Summer 2012.
Maybe actually.
We've already talked about this. That's why I knew.
Oh.
This song is a song. Pause it, please.
Oh, okay.
Off of Wow Hits 2005 that I thought reminded me of that
You're right.
song you were just playing. But
Audio Adrenaline. What a throwback. I think they have new music.
Audio Adrenaline. That's a connection to Relient K because of John Schneck.
I don't think I know this.
A fake fan.
What are you talking about?
John Schneck used to be in Audio Adrenaline. I don't know. Yikes.
You know what I think of when I think of Audio adrenaline?
What?
This song. I have an embarrassing story about it too.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. I don't think anyone clicked on this to hear you sing.
Okay, so
I'm looking something up.
Embarrassing story about that. So I loved Audio Adrenaline, and my dad and sister went to their last concert ever, and they closed with that song, and I was so upset because I loved that song, and I couldn't see it live, and it was like their last show ever. And then I had an MP3 player. Remember MP3 players? And how they had
I recall.
And how they had like radios in them sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And I put on the Christian radio station, and a staticky version of Goodbye was playing. So I pushed record really quickly. I started crying because Audio Adrenaline's Goodbye was on after they broke up.
I don't really know anything about Audio Adrenaline, but the fact that John Schneck used to be in it is not that impressive because there's a ton of...
They're the revolving door of the music industry after Newsboys. You listened to Mrs. Hippopotamuses 3 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you a question. Mrs. Hippopotamuses blank. Fill in the blank.
Mrs. Otter Tutu Pants. I don't know.
Mrs. Hippopotamuses. Mrs. Otter Tudor Pants.
I don't know. I've heard many different versions of that song. However, don't they have the official lyrics in the Air for Free CD thing?
No.
Then how did we know that the sun in our eyes was...
Because in the, like, you know how every band does, like, a thanks to this people, they did, like, we wouldn't have had this album if it wasn't for something, something, and the sun in our eyes.
I'm fairly certain that the vinyl paper thing had the lyrics.
This says... okay, also another thing I have to air about this. Why do they say Erie Canal? The Erie Canal does not go through Ohio. It goes Buffalo to Albany, which connects to the Houston River, which connects to the ocean. Just saying. I learned about this because I'm from Buffalo, and we took a field trip to the Erie Canal. I've been on the Erie Canal, okay?
Why do you say canal so Buffalo-ish?
I don't know. Why do you say yes? Mrs. Hippopotamus's Otter Water Park admission. But Matt Hoop said something like Mrs. Hippopotamus's River Otter Water Park admission or something. Mrs. Hippopotamus's Otter Water Park admission.
According to Google, the Erie Canal is in Ohio. It connected Akron, Summit County with the Cuyahoga River near its outlet on Lake Erie in Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, and a few years later with the River Ohio near Portsmouth, Scioto County, and then connects to the canal systems in Pennsylvania.
That is not true.
Would Google lie?
Yes. A few days ago, Google said Nick Foles was the owner of the New England Patriots.
That's true. That was funny.
I know it was.
Look up the national animal of Scotland, or national mascot.
Unicorn? That's legit. You know
I know,
that, right?
but I Googled it once and thought it was funny.
Erie Canal, Buffalo, Albany.
I don't know what to tell you. It's in Ohio, too.
It's the fake version.
Oh, my goodness. I'm tired.
Maybe they meant like Erie, like, ooh, spooky canal.
I don't think so.
Whatever. How long have we been recording for? Only 20 minutes. Do you have anything else you'd like to bring up? Oh, I have something after you.
I wasn't going to say anything, so go.
Do you have any points you'd like to bring up before I bring up probably the final point? I'm sorry, excuse me.
I can't think of anything necessarily to say, so go ahead and say whatever you were going to say.
Candy hearts. Happy Valentine's. Times. Be my Valentine. Be My Valentine doesn't get enough love, okay?
I don't think any of them necessarily get enough love because...
You know what doesn't get enough love? Happy Earth Day.
That's true. No one talks about that anymore. But I think that's because... I could be wrong, but I think it was only available on their website. I know for a fact it's not available on Spotify, and that's the only place I listen to music anymore. I don't know if it's on iTunes or Amazon or anything like that.
When you go on their website and it's still the first thing you see.
I know, I'm just saying.
Speaking of which, they need to redesign this.
Yeah, Earth Day.
And you scroll down and it's air for free. Why does Pinterest keep popping up?
Oh yeah, anyway, just in general, I don't think any of them necessarily get as much love as, I don't know what I'm saying necessarily, but
the shirt.
Okay, can you get off their website?
No, I'm shopping. Oh, I like this beanie.
I so wish I'd gotten the dad hat on that tour.
Is this still available to order? No. It's the only album vinyl from them we don't have.
Are you gonna say anything else?
I thought there would be upcoming tour dates.
I personally don't think that they will go on tour anytime, at least in 2018.
2019, it's happening.
Because...
Also, why is their icon a freaking block? I've always wondered that.
Okay, please stop. I don't think they personally will go on tour anytime soon because Matt Thiessen, relatively recently just got married. Matt Hoops just got married and just had a child.
Just got married? That was like July. It's been like a year.
Can you stop?
Yes, they just had a kid January 2nd or 3rd or something.
I think it was December 29th.
Would you like to bet?
No, I have no idea. I'm just kidding.
I'm looking.
There's a cute dog on Instagram.
I follow more corgis than people.
Okay, find out when he was born. But that really doesn't matter. I was just messing with him. But since they both have their own families now, I don't know. I realize that this is their job, and I'm not saying they don't take it seriously. But if I were them, I would take some time off of music. They went on a huge tour.
Looking for America.
I don't know if they
January 4th. We were both wrong. No,
January 3rd. I don't know if they were necessarily intending it to be the two parts, or if it was just originally supposed to be the first part of the Looking for America tour. However, if it really was like a late decision, then that's a long time that they weren't necessarily planning on being on the road, or being away from their families, being away from their friends, being away from their favorite coffee shop in Nashville, Ugly Mugs, or whatever it's called.
I just followed like 30 more corgis. That's a problem.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that this was the Corgi Corner podcast.
You probably just took someone's trademark.
Follow Corgi Corner podcast on
Spotify.
Please don't look up that.
I want to see if it exists. No.
No results found for Corgi Corner. Anyway,
what if
please,
it's spelled with a K?
Josh. Please let me finish what I'm talking about. Don't interrupt me. I can't see them going on tour anytime soon because first point is the whole reason they were on their last tour is because they had just come out with an album relatively close to the tour date times. So that makes sense. 2,
it was just zoned out hard in that direction.
2, there was rumors, and I think I had heard like an actual confirmation. Who knows?
I know, and I know who it was from, and I'm not going to throw her under the bus, but I'm upset.
Can you please be quiet? There was some talk of a 10-year anniversary for the 5 Score album because had a 10-year anniversary tour.
I did.
So there was talk about another 10-year anniversary tour, and that obviously didn't happen. It would have had to happen in 2017, and it didn't happen, which I totally understand. I mean, they had a child, they got married, like, that stuff is more important than a 10-year anniversary tour. Sorry, it is.
Okay.
You only have a cedar once. I was going to say you only have a baby once, but with them, no.
They have like 8.
Just, okay. Anyway.
But.
So. If they were to go on another album's 10-year anniversary tour, I could definitely see them doing with the Forget Not So Down, which would be next year.
2019.
Are you okay?
No, I'm hungry. You said we could go to Wawa.
So, you mean, I don't know, by 2019, I don't know, maybe it would happen. Obviously, I don't know. I'm not friends with them.
Wow.
Well, they did call us their friends on their Instagram story. I'm just kidding. But seriously, no, we're not close with them. We don't know if that's their intentions or not, but...
Matt told me that he'd help me with something next time they toured, so we know they're touring eventually.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily saying just because they have a child and they're married, or because Matt Hoops has a child and both of the Matts are now married, and I'm not saying...
Dave's doing like 16 other bands.
I'm not saying that they're done with Relient K forever, but I'm just saying for right now, I wouldn't expect them to come out with music or go on tour or anything, really, because they have their own lives to focus on, specifically Matt Hoops. So, yeah, that's just my opinion. I don't know what they're going to do. They might see this and say, you know what? I think we're going to do another album and a 2-year tour, just despite them.
No, they're not going to do another album. They're going to do Air for Free Reimagined.
Oh, yeah, true. That should be a topic for a whole other podcast.
True. Next podcast, Air for Free Reimagined. Unless you leave some other comments down below. Tell us what you want. I feel like I'm milking a cow. Or a goat. Or another 4-legged farm animal that you can milk. Like a llama. Can you milk a llama?
Oh my gosh.
Wait.
Google it.
Door.
What are they singing?
Love is an open door.
Oh.
There's people next door singing. Can you milk a llama? Can you drink llama milk?
Gosh. This is terrible.
Each female llama only produces about 60 milliliters of milk at a time, which means their young must suckle often to get adequate nutrition. Stop it. Okay, I think that wraps up this week's podcast. Thank you for watching the Corgi Corner. Stay tuned. Okay, for real. Thank you for watching our podcast. It was probably very cringy. It's our first video podcast.
Also, let him know, because this is more his project than mine. I'm just kind of here to co-host. He's definitely the one that's behind the scenes of it all and everything. But let him know if you like video or audio podcasts more. Because, I don't know, I feel like that's something that people should voice their opinions, because they're going to either have to listen to our annoying voices or look at our ugly faces. So choose which one you hate less.
Also, let us know if you like these lights we have set up. They're good lights, but I borrowed them from my school, so I don't really know how to work them all that well. It's something I could look into more if you were interested. Or if you think lighting doesn't matter, let me know.
Just turn the lights off. They don't want to see us.
Well, then it's just an audio podcast.
Exactly.
17-year-old U.S.
Okay,
snowboarder
stop.
Chloe
Josh.
Kim
Josh. You're so unprofessional.
Tessa. Yeah, I'm the unprofessional one.
You're so distracted.
Josh.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop it.
Stop. Okay. So, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
May the horse be with you.